That whiny little bitch, Alpha.
A modern podcast where Chris and Mike talk about TV, movies, superheroes, and everything in between. It's time for Superhero Slate.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news.
We love TV, movies, and superheroes, so let's talk it all out.
My name is Chris Dillard.
And my name is Mike Royer.
And New York Comic Con was this weekend.
Yes, it was.
Marvel gave us some changes to Phase 3.
That came out of nowhere.
Out of left field. We got some new film synopsis and more.
Ooh, man. I missed everything this week, because it all came at the end of the week. I just got back from New York. So
you had gone to New York at the end of the week, but you just got back right now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm so far out of it. Like, I had never been so close to like a giant comic book convention but so out of tune, like, with everything. Like, normally I would have been at home on on all the blogs, probably just getting text messages from you, even though I still got those from you. Thank you.
I try to keep you in the loop.
You kept me on my toes, because if you didn't send me anything, I just wouldn't have known. So, yeah, but, like, New York was awesome, though, because I got to have kind of some superhero tourism. So we
So you did not go for the Comic-Con. You didn't even know it was going on until you got there, right?
No. We were in town for a wedding, and it was awesome because it gave us an opportunity to kind of see Manhattan. So during the hours that weren't revolving around this wedding schedule, we tried to make it over to Manhattan. And first of all, the trains are insanely confusing. I only ever hear about how bad the public transportation is here in Los Angeles. Oh, excuse me. So
I'm not editing that out.
It's that New York pizza, man. I'm still digesting it. But I was expecting like this amazing transportation hub in New York, but apparently when the weekends roll around, they do all types of construction on these rail lines because like the rails are absolutely necessary to get around like people that are commuting and working in the city. So like we got so lost and like so confused, and we didn't know what to do. So we just ended up almost stumbling across the pizza place that is in the second Spider-Man film, the Doc Ock one.
Where it opens up and he's actually delivering pizza from that place.
Yeah, and it was so cool. Luckily, my friend Sammy, who lives in the city, was kind of chauffeuring us around. She's just like, "Oh, you know what? I think this pizza place, Joe's, is literally right above us." So we're just like, "Okay." And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's from the Spider-Man movie." And I was like, "Spider-Man movie and pizza?" And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." So we walked in, and they have this sign on the wall that says like "As seen in Spider-Man," and like we got like some quintessential like New York pizza from the joint, and man, it was like awesome pizza, like big thin slices, like nothing frilly, nothing fancy. Like LA has horrible pizza. It's all frilly pizza with like fancy ingredients, which sometimes can be nice, but like usually when you want pizza, you want like classic, standalone pizza. So like it was awesome. It was super cool. And like the whole city, like the entire time like I was in Manhattan, I kept looking up and being like, yeah, Spider-Man, I see how he gets around here. This totally makes sense. Now where is he? And then I got sad because I realized he wasn't a real person.
Well, I did remind you to get that selfie in front of the Avengers Tower, and I haven't seen that yet.
It wasn't there. I'm not too sure actually where it is in the city. Like I don't know if it's like, is it near Central Park or is it like down near the financial district?
It's the old Tony Stark building.
Well,
so, I mean, you should be able to find it.
I asked around, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But it actually was kind of cool. Since all these subways interconnect and there's so many people flowing through, every once in a while I did see like a Captain America or like a Catwoman or like a Tomb Raider like going through the subway, like coming back from the convention. So, but it just made it worse. I'm like, there's a comic book convention here and I can't go.
Well, at least you wouldn't need to follow breadcrumbs. You just follow the cosplayers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Eventually end up there.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Maybe one year I'll be able to go back there. It was so cool though. But yeah, like it's definitely a place that everyone needs to visit. It's a cool, bustling city, super dense, so much crazy stuff going around. Oh yeah, and I told you I had a little Big Lebowski anecdote for you because you said You said you just bought a pop vinyl.
Well,
right?
I almost did. I came about that close. I'm holding my fingers up really close together to get one. So I didn't. But tell me your anecdote anyway. It might make me go out and buy it.
So like I said, we were there for a wedding, and we went to a bachelor party on one of the nights we were there. So one of the things that was planned was a burlesque show. And now this is the first time I've ever been to the burlesque show, and if you're not familiar with them, it's basically more like a higher class stripping routine. You know, they actually like work out a routine, do like a song. There's no pole. Usually they have like props. They plan it out, and there's tassels. There's always tassels, it seems to be, with these types of shows. But either way, we were there, and it was like a burlesque / kind of comedy night. So a lot of the routines were like really humorous. So this one performer walks out. She's in this like shiny jumpsuit, like I guess they're rhinestones, whatever reflects light. She looked like a giant like red disco ball, and she had her hair slicked back, and she had a painted on mustache and goatee, and she just looked like John Turturro from The Big Lebowski. What's this character's name again?
Jesus. You don't fuck with the Jesus.
Yeah, so she did this whole mimic to this whole thing. I never thought I would ever see a burlesque dance timed to some of his quintessential lines in the bowling alley. And she even had the bowling ball. She like seductively took it out of the bowling bag, and she like shuck it around in that little like that little cloth handle that you pull a bowling ball out with it. And then of course she licked it, and it was fucking hilarious. But
it sounds more like it was more like a vaudeville act than a burlesque show.
Yeah,
at this
well,
point.
but she eventually took off the jumpsuit, and she was in this really
tassels, just tassels.
She was in a very confusing getup because she has like the painted on mustache, but then she's it was a confusing but hilarious night. So if you guys are ever in Manhattan, I think it was on the south side of Manhattan. Honestly, I never really know where I was in the city. It's really confusing, but I believe it was called the. Well, it was either the Wiggle Room or it was the something. I don't remember.
I'm not taking directions from you in Chicago right now, so maybe you can Google Map it for us.
Yeah, if I can pull up the show and I can remember the place, we'll put it in the show notes because I think it's worthwhile to check it out.
Yes. Well, I mean, that sure beats my weekend. I played Star Wars Battlefront, the beta.
Okay.
I went like 51-10 in one game. I was pretty proud of that game. I totally tore it up and watched Batman Forever with my fiance for the first time.
Oh man,
she saw
Batman Forever.
I have like a fond recollection of that movie. I remember watching it at the drive-in theater in my town when I was younger, and dressing up as Two-Face for Halloween that year.
Oh yeah,
the Tommy Lee Jones version, of course. But then watching it, I'm just like, what the hell was I thinking?
We've come a long way in the superhero cinema.
Some things should be left in the past. Don't let nostalgia fool you, folks. Don't let it do it.
It does not hold up. All right, that's good to know.
Right. So let's stop thinking about the past. Let's go into the future. Let's jump into this news.
Oh man, yeah. Tell me everything I missed, man.
Okay. First off, The Flash, the movie.
Okay.
The reports are Seth Grahame-Smith is to write and direct the movie.
Okay, and how do we know Seth Grahame-Smith?
He is the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Okay.
He mixes genres together.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not really sure. Again, I could be very wrong. I think he works on novels. Like he worked on a lot of novels beforehand, before movies.
It sounds like DC is kind of pulling a little bit of a Marvel move where they're trying to find the diamonds in the rough to do some of their films.
Yeah. Going with the lesser knowns, I think they're probably cheaper, so they can put more money into everything else. And these guys might be more like the yes men, kind of like how they just hire someone who says, yeah, we'll do whatever you tell us to do.
Yeah, I guess that is a possibility.
So he's got Pride and Prejudice and Zombies had a new trailer come out this week. I didn't include it. I'm not interested in it, but he did write the novel, and I think he did script the movie that's coming out as well.
Well, I mean, I'm excited for any sort of Flash movie news that we get because the movie is still pretty far out. What we got, like 2 to 3 years on that film, I think.
If not longer. I think it's not. I think it's after Not 2016, not 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Okay. Yeah, these type of speedster superpowers, so far as we've seen on the Marvel side, work really, really well on the big screen. So I'm really looking forward to them fleshing out that superpower for, an entire, 2 hours. I think that's going to be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to think DC movies are going to be the last people to have their speedster.
Yeah.
There, even though, the Flash TV show we're going to get to later, I love it. You've always said, 52 episodes is a good run for a TV series, right?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think, with Arrow going on season 4, if we get 4 seasons of The Flash, they might both be on at the same time?
Oh, yeah, I think that's definitely possible.
We're going to talk about this new series later, but we'll talk about that later. And I think we have there's some interesting ways DC can do that.
Yeah.
So, what about Wonder Woman? You interested in Wonder Woman?
You know what? I'd like to hear a little bit about Wonder Woman. It's been a while.
Okay, so Wonder Woman, the first bit of news we have is the time periods the movie will take place in is across 3 different time periods.
Okay, yeah, because I believe the last time we talked about this, we did say there was going to be like a roaring type of 20s, or I don't really remember, but there was definitely a time period that was confirmed for the film.
So I'm just going to read the synopsis.
Okay.
It says the first setting will be Themyscira, the idyllic island Wonder Woman has called home since her adventures began in the 40s, and that's the comic book 40s.
Mm-hmm.
The second period is World War I. The specific year we've been given is 1916, which places it right in the middle of that conflict.
Okay.
And then the movie will then move to modern day, but will tie into the events of Justice League Part 1 out at the end of 2017, and also set to star, the Wonder Woman we'll see in Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, is Themyscira. I think it's the original island. I think it's she's been around several hundred years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll see early, maybe 1800s, the first discovery of the island, and then World War I, and then modern times.
Yeah. So
do you think that's going to work?
This is going to be really interesting to see what happens with both of these universes that we have going on here with Marvel and DC. Is they are both going to have to get into this magical realm that they both haven't touched yet. I know you might not necessarily consider Wonder Woman magical, but it's more mythical. It's not rooted in science like we have seen out there so far.
I imagine her she is the Thor of DC's big 3.
Mm-hmm.
She's got power. She's almost immortal like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so I guess as long as they can find a convincing way to spin that this island has been on Earth, for all time. Maybe there's just some sort of ancient magic or something ancient that cloaked it, or maybe it's always been there, but just the only people that have known about it have known it's important to keep it secret or something. Now I'm always curious in those little details and how they're going to do that. But I think that is the best comparison that you just make. It's that universe is Thor, and we've dealt with Thor pretty well. But even though they've kind of set him somewhat cosmically, even though he is a god, they've shown it in kind of spatial reasons. We've seen Loki tie in with aliens, so it's a little bit more easy to justify. But hiding an island on Earth, I think they can pull it off. But I think this is super awesome. 3 decades. I talked before about how much I like the period piece in Captain America, so I think it's great that we're getting another period superhero movie.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a bold move. You don't see a lot of period pieces anymore because of the cost, and I think if they want to do it right, they're gonna go all out and do what they need to do. And
plus, it's 3 periods. I'm curious, if the movie is going to be evenly divided up between the 3 decades, or maybe we get the 1916 just at the very beginning. Maybe just we roll right into the 1940s after that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to give us a little maybe exposition on why the island, because technically Diana is of Greek descendants.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of deal with Greek mythology, and that's kind of where this island is.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's not imagine it looks like Asgard in the water, essentially, on top of the water. So I don't know. I'm ready to see some of this Wonder Woman. I'm tired of hearing talk about Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
I want to see some Wonder Woman and see why she plays such a big part in Batman versus Superman coming out next year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be that Batman versus Superman movie is gonna be so big. It's gonna be so important. We're gonna see so many characters because Cyborg is supposed to be in that film still, right?
Yeah. So, or wait, Batman vs Superman or Justice League?
Yeah, Batman vs Superman.
No. Yeah. Yes. So I mean, so's Flash and Aquaman, but the rumor is they're more like maybe possibly on a computer screen somewhere.
Yeah.
Or something like a quick flash rather than an actual show up and be like, "Yo, sup, dog."
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, I'm excited for this DC universe to launch off because we've been so inundated with Marvel. I mean, it's a good thing. I mean, Ant-Man's not even out on video yet, and they played it on my plane today. I got to watch Ant-Man for like the third time on a plane before it even came out. And
wow,
yeah,
that's bold.
Yeah, and I was just like, good job, American Airlines, showing a Marvel movie, and they work really well for planes because everyone finds them enjoyable. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, it's not like we've had enough of Marvel, but I would love to see
if DC
different.
wants to be a big hitter, they gotta give us things.
Yeah,
and I think once they start off, they'll not stop. But I mean, everyone's like, oh, the DC cinematic universe is better than Marvel's. But you have one movie.
Yeah,
you can't base a universe on one movie.
Yeah,
so
we're all excited to see it ramp up, and I think it'll be an awesome 2016.
Yeah, you know what's gonna make 2016 better?
What's that?
Justice League, the cartoon series coming to Cartoon Network.
Oh,
a brand new one.
Okay, that's awesome.
I don't know really what it's based on, but this is kind of taking that Marvel approach.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel did Avengers Assemble and Guardians of the Galaxy after the movies came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Cartoon Network will have a Justice League cartoon series coming out at the end of next year, probably fall of next year, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, really cool. I wonder kind of what tone they're going to take, because you would never really know the tone until you actually get it, because sometimes I think it depends what time of the day it airs. You know, are you going for that older crowd or like the younger Saturday morning cartoon crowd? You know, I just finished Earth's Mightiest Heroes last week.
Man, I'm sorry for your loss.
I know, that last episode was so great, getting those new Avengers back in, and Galactus, that was crazy.
Yeah,
that was so cool. But then as soon as that ended, I launched right into Avengers Assemble, because I had to know what the difference was. And the art is totally different, but I kind of like the change in art. It's a little bit more cinematic, and it's a totally different feel. But I'm only about halfway through that first episode because I just had to go do other things. But I think I'm going to give that show a shot. You know, now knowing that I don't have to kind of like look up to it. It's not on a pedestal yet. But yeah, I love the idea of these cartoon shows just coming out of nowhere.
Right, and I think, you know, I mean, we're not gonna get live action everything we want. Mm-hmm. So cartoon's a good place for them to give us fans, you know, fan service without having to spend all the budgets on everything, because drawing's drawing, right?
Yeah,
we've talked about that.
Yeah, and I wonder if they'll go the somewhat Marvel route and try to tie it in with their cinematic universe, or they're just going to go standalone and just go crazy.
Yeah, who knows? We don't know much, but I mean, it's fans of the DC animated universe may come to find the show to be one of their new favorites.
Yeah.
So, all right, here's the big news. This is what I've been holding up for.
Oh yeah,
Marvel came out with the big announcements this week. Okay,
tell me, boy, tell me. And this was pre-Comic-Con, right? Or was this during Comic-Con?
This was like Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Nothing to do with Comic-Con, because it's launched Friday, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, first off, you saw Ant-Man on the plane today.
Yes.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, the sequel, has been announced.
Oh, that's crazy.
For July 6th, 2018.
Oh man, that is insane. Like, this totally changes the game. Not just because we're getting a sequel to Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think we all knew that was going to happen eventually because the film had done so well.
It's not even open in China, and that's where it's expected to hit big bucks.
Yeah, but I think what this means is, like, the slate that Marvel sets is not in stone. Like, they might have, like, an entire press conference one day and lay out, you know, this whole schedule for Phase 3 in front of a bunch of people and publicize it anywhere, but that doesn't mean anything. If they want to pivot, they can pivot, and I think that's crazy.
Well, this is the second time this year. In 6 months, I think they've done this.
Mm-hmm.
And would you say that it doesn't bug them?
Oh, God.
Because Spider-Man and Ant-Man did it?
Bad.
Okay, sorry. I had to get that out before I forgot it. So July 6th, we might remember that was another movies date.
Mm-hmm.
That was Black Panther, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so what's going on with Black Panther now?
So Black Panther has been moved forward closer to February 16th, 2018.
Okay, so it sounds like no films have been dropped. We just moved Black Panther to make room for this additional movie.
Right. No movie was in February of 2018. I'm pretty sure it was May, July, November. So now we have a February, May, June, and November, or July, November. So now we get 4 Marvel movies that year, if I'm correct.
Oh man, so this is kind of what I'm hoping. You know, if we're getting a Marvel movie in February, I believe this is the first time we've had a February release for Marvel. Now, I don't think we should look at this as a bad thing because they always say, you know, the beginning of the year is the dumping ground. I think it's more related towards January than anything else, but February is not much better for a blockbuster movie.
Well, I would agree with you, but I think Marvel has proven that any time of the year can be a time for a blockbuster.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They're just such a juggernaut now that nothing's really going to contend with them. But we all know Deadpool is coming out next year in February, and that is a rated R film. So I'm curious, maybe if there'll be talks in the future about Black Panther possibly being rated R.
I don't think so. Honestly, I think Marvel's going to keep theirs PG-13 since they're reporting to Disney directly now. And Marvel, I mean, they're not going to cut their law. I mean, they want Black Panther to be popular, and I think there would be an outroar if it was made R.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to take that speculation out right now.
No, I'm throwing it out. Wild speculation right here. You heard it first on Superhero Slate.
And I'm putting it in the trash can behind me there. So I was wrong. There was no movie announced for November 2018. So we still get 3 in 2018.
Okay, man.
However, just to mention, Miss Marvel has been pushed back to March 8th of 2019.
Oh, no.
That's okay. That's still before Infinity War Part 2. So she's still in the same time frame. They've just added an extra movie in what they thought they were going to make. Like, they've added one movie and it's kind of just rearranged a couple things. So we get Black Panther earlier and the Captain Marvel later, but she's still within the same time frame that we were going to get her.
Man, this is nuts. This is all over the place. This is a good time to mention on our website, superheroslate.com. We have a special page set up so you can see the release schedule for all these movies because it can get really confusing. So, and I think we're also going to include it in our show notes. So, yeah, just head over to superheroslate.com and you won't have to try to cobble all of this in your head because it's a little confusing.
It is. I mean, I have all this in the notes right here. I'm not going to include these in the notes because there's so many movies. So go check out our page. Yeah. I'll put that in there. Also, Marvel dropped 3 unannounced films in 2020 on us.
Oh, man. So 2020 is post. That's post everything. That's post phase 3.
That is phase 4, according to all the reports.
Oh, man. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy.
So if they're doing 3 movies in that 2020, what do you think you are? I've had this question posed to me several times this week.
Okay.
What do you think will be there?
I think we're definitely going to get another Spider-Man film.
Okay.
So I think that would that be the trilogy? I don't know. Have we had 2 Spider-Man films announced or just that first one?
Just the one.
Okay, so
everything we know is in front of you on this list.
Gotcha.
And then there's 3 more after that.
All right, so I definitely think one's going to be Spider-Man for sure. I think that's pretty tried and true. If they're having this brand new character, we got to roll him up. We got to get him going. Man, I mean, they've gone through so many big hitters already. Like they're wrapping up kind of Captain America with this trilogy. You know, I think we're only going to be seeing Captain America now after in team up movies. You know, I think the same thing for Iron Man. So like it's kind of like, what do we have left? Do we bring in new characters or do we do sequels? Like, do we do a sequel to Black Panther? Or do we do a sequel of Miss Marvel? I think it's also safe to say it'll probably complete the trilogy for Guardians. So Spider-Man and Guardians. No, the third one, I don't know.
So if we take a look at this, their phase 3 and kind of how they've been doing it, they've do 1 sequel and 1 new property every year.
Mm-hmm.
So going forward, they'll be doing 2 sequels and 1 new property. So I think Inhumans is going to get pushed to 2020.
Oh, you think so?
I think having 2 new properties in 1 year, that's a little much on Marvel.
Yeah, and I think it might give time for Infinity Wars Part 2 to breathe. Yeah. You know, I mean, you're going to have this film come out and basically complete this entire Avengers trilogy that you've been building, and with 4 films, and then just, a month or 2 later, you're going to come out with a new film. Maybe push that a year.
Well,
give it time to breathe.
I think there is going to be a movie in July of 2019. However, it's going to be either Doctor Strange or Spider-Man.
Oh, man, okay.
I think they're going to be the movie to kick off Phase 4.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get our 1 Captain Marvel and our 2 sequels, right?
Mm-hmm.
2020 will give us Inhumans, Guardians 3,
okay,
and I believe Black Panther.
Yeah, I think Guardians 3, I think it's safe to say, since we both agreed on it, that we're going to go ahead and say that's pretty much going to be it. I mean, the first film did so well. Chris Pratt is just on top of the world right now. They have, I'm sure that they have the script penned and ready and wrapped up pretty much for this second one, and it's going to get its trilogy. So
everything usually tends to get 3, unless we get a Hulk movie. Hulk could be a brand new movie in 2020.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something really special.
So,
and it's not going to be Planet Hulk. I'm stopping the speculation right there. It's not going to be Planet Hulk. I don't think that film's ever going to work.
Yeah, and he would be a good carryover from the old movies as well. To have Hulk come back, rather, since we can't Iron Man, Captain America, or Thor.
Yeah,
and he could be kind of a team up movie, I feel.
Yeah, I would love to see maybe. I mean, I know we did Abomination in the first Hulk film, which is kind of like a Red Hulk, type of character. But it would be kind of cool to see, see a Red Hulk and a Green Hulk go at it. I think that would be cool.
I think so. I mean, yeah, I feel like we rehash it. I think we need the leader, or we kind of got hints of him in the first Hulk. Or another Hulk villain that's, what makes Banner use his intelligence rather than his strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Which would be interesting. So I don't know. We have go check out our new schedule. This is a schedule. Marvel is very fluid in theirs.
Yeah.
I think nothing will phase them. They're just going to add more, and adding more means more excitement for us.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy, and I love to know that it is so flexible. It means that we don't have to be so set in stone and knowing exactly what's coming. They can shake it up at any time.
Fantastic Four could be a 2020 movie as well. If
Fox
and them kind of get together. I heard, this is a rumor, Fantastic Four, I don't think this is in my notes, made $10,000 less than the 2005 Fantastic Four.
Oh no, that's a nail in the coffin right there. It doesn't matter, Fox. It does not. You don't have a leg to stand on in front of your shareholders with this movie right now. It didn't make any fucking money, so you're gonna have to.
Even critically, monetarily, be Sony. Take the Sony approach.
Yeah, take the Sony deal. Sony paved the way for you to give up what you have. And, yeah, the Fantastic Four would be a great way to start Phase 4, because they're going to need some new blood in there, and I would love to see the team-ups that they could do with the Fantastic Four.
And they can get younger actors in there, with Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, if they want to work that in there in the same age range. Maybe not go the teenage route. Apparently that doesn't work, but, they can get younger actors that aren't Robert Downey Jr., who's over 50.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And I think maybe we could bring the Fantastic Four back into the cosmic route, since we're already anchored in cosmic.
Get that Galactus for Avengers.
Oh man,
Phase 4 villain.
We could get a Phase 5 climactic battle with Fantastic Four and the Inhumans and Spider-Man duking it out.
There's your siren.
Oh man, well, we heard your train earlier. We're getting all the stuff crammed in here tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, Marvel is. They, again, changed the game, got us so hyped. Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's the first female lead character Marvel's had.
Yeah.
It actually pushed Captain Marvel back. So we will now have a female a character in the title with Ant-Man and Wasp.
I love the tenacity of the Wasp. Her name was Janet in the Ant-Man
Janet
movie?
Van Dyne.
Okay, I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure if she was named after her mother or if they changed her name in the film or not. But yeah, I loved her tenacity.
No, Hope. It was Hope Van Dyne. Janet was the mom. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
you just watched it. I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember things very well when I'm on a plane. I can never sleep. I was fading in and out. Anyway, I just loved how like so amped she was to get into that Wasp suit at the end of the film, and she was like, "It's about damn time." That's awesome. I love that she's just gonna be a badass, and plus she is more skilled than Scott is at all of this stuff anyway. So I think when she puts everything on, she's just like gonna totally like outdo him and just show him up, and I think that's gonna be great.
This is the first movie past Infinity War as well. So who's to say, some of that stuff won't affect what goes on in that movie? And
yeah, that's true.
And I don't know, Ant-Man and Wasp, we're ready for it. Give it to us. Let's see it. So let's jump into Black Panther. A little bit of Black Panther news this week.
Yeah, let's mellow out with a little Black Panther because that was some big news.
So Black Panther has hired the writer Robert Cle. Okay. He has worked with Marvel before. He actually wrote an Inhumans, one of the very first Inhumans drafts for Marvel.
Oh wow.
They're not using that right now, but I mean he's worked with Marvel for a long time. And they're saying the director will not be picked until after the script is done.
I think that's good.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move. They're still looking for F. Gary Gray. F. Gary, as you remember from our older shows. But I think, with them moving up, I think they're going to get some steam rolling on Black Panther. And we're going to see some of that pretty soon.
Yeah, Black Panther is just such a cool character because his motivations are just so tonally different from the rest of the Marvel crew, and I love that.
Yeah, and again, they've been laying foundations for a long time, and we get to see him in Civil War, so we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that hype. We're gonna get some good feedback.
Yeah, and he's kind of always just on the periphery, being a little shady, because the bottom line, it always comes down to Wakanda. So as long as that's in the best interest, he'll do what he needs to do.
Yep. So speaking of Civil War and Black Panther, we got a couple concept art, like promo images from this.
Okay.
They're not leaky, like they're not spoilery for your sake. I made sure of these.
All right, awesome.
The first one's War Machine. We get a new look at War Machine. Hit this Mark III on his arm there.
Oh, nice. He's got a new like faceplate going there.
Yeah, he looks a little. The armor looks darker, less gray, more black. Maybe more stealthy. I kind of like. I like the look of it. Next up, we get a new Black Panther pose. So we've kind of seen the outfit. I think we may have seen this picture before as well. But I mean, more Black Panther, right? I mean,
yeah, because the only time we've really seen it. I mean, this is obviously just concept art, but the only other time we've seen the actual costume is with that, with those action shots that we got on set. And like we said before, that suit seemed a bit odd because I think they just had to tether it with wire, so that really wasn't a good first look. But I'm loving this concept art. That looks super slick.
Yeah, and the last one is a new Ant-Man armor for the film.
Oh, yeah.
Outfit. So if you take a look at that, it looks, and again, this goes along with the new movie announcement, this looks slick.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk a little bit, his face mask looks more like a face mask rather than the big, goofy, bulgy helmet.
Yeah, it's a lot more streamlined.
His suit looks more like it fits to his body better.
Yeah, it looks like someone basically gave it a once-over and be like, okay, if you're going to be going out there saving the world regularly, you can't stick with this old motorcycle suit.
Yeah, and then lastly, his gauntlets look a little upgraded, and he doesn't have the button on his thumb. So it looks like they might have figured out a way to not have his little shrinky button on his thumb.
Yeah.
As well as there's no pack on his belt.
Yeah, I think it looks awesome. He looks like he's ready to get down and dirty.
Yeah, so Ant-Man, everyone's getting new outfits, and I'm so excited for it. There were other ones, but I feel they were spoilery, so I'm not going to put them up there for you.
Oh, man, that's awesome. You're so good. Even though I met a pretty cool person this weekend who did like some video game marketing and stuff, and he was a nerd too, but he accidentally dropped what side Spider-Man was on in the movie, and I was like, oh man, but I was just like, no.
See, those are all rumors. I've read everything. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Spider-Man's always been... He's always kind of been pretty shifty, the motivations are always kind of off in Civil War when it comes to Spider-Man. So, even though I heard what he said, I was just like, I don't think that's going to end up staying, even if it's what it is. But, I pushed it out of my mind quickly. I think it's time that we get that Civil War trailer soon, because I need to know officially what Marvel wants me to know, because it's driving me crazy.
Yeah, that's right. So let's go on to Infinity War, another movie coming down the line from Marvel. Okay, this is about to blow your mind. The rumor reports are the combined films, Infinity War Part 1 and 2, have a production budget of $1 billion.
Oh, man. That is insane. I'm totally on board. I don't care. They can throw whatever money they want at it. This is going to be so fucking sweet.
And apparently 400,000 of that is for cast and crew budgets alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting expensive. Like, these guys, I mean, they've built this franchise on their backs, so they're gonna get paid because they deserve it. But I think soon they're gonna realize that, like, oh, this franchise can't necessarily sustain if we're getting paid out the nose, you know. So maybe when contracts start to get renegotiated, they're just like, hey, do you want to be in 4 Marvel movies in the next 10 years, or do you only want to be in 1? Because we can only afford doing 1 this way.
Yeah. So just to kind of put this in perspective, Age of Ultron production budget was $250 million. This is 4 Age of Ultrons.
Yeah.
in 2 movies, especially one big 5-hour movie is what I'm imagining it as. So, I mean, this is one of those benefits of 5G and Marvel Studios going directly to Disney.
Yeah.
Is having access to this without having to go to Perlmutter to say yes or no.
Yeah, they need that. They need those purse strings opened. And speaking with the price of those actors and actresses, I was listening to an interview with Paul, what's his name, who played Vision, Paul Bettany. Yeah, he was saying that it's actually kind of nice to be on the payroll for a Marvel franchise, because most of the time when actors finish up a film, you know, it may have been a huge film, it may have been great, but if it wasn't a franchise, they're basically back out on their feet again looking for the next job. You know, when you get a job with Marvel as an actor, you get a little bit of job security. You know what films you're going to be in over the next 5 to 10 years. So it's a good thing to be under Marvel's wing. So maybe you know, Tony Stark, Mr. Robert Downey Jr. will be like, okay, yeah, you don't have to pay me $1 billion just to myself to be in Iron Man 16, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, he hasn't really done anything outside of, you know, I mean, he's in Due Date once.
Yeah.
And
he was in that, he was in a
Judge?
movie about, Judge Anna's. So he, you know, you get some security with Marvel.
Yeah, we're going to see if he can land on his feet afterwards. I mean, I like Robert Downey Jr., but we'll see if he can live without Iron Man. What about Jessica Jones? You familiar with Jessica Jones?
I am familiar. We have been keeping up with her little teasers.
Okay, so New York Comic Con was this weekend. Big news coming from it. First off, we had the 3rd teaser, and it shows her jumping and flying, or something. We don't know quite yet, but it shows she goes to her Alias building and works there. Really excited for that. Yeah,
it was a very similar scene that when we finally got to see all of the Daredevil cast lined up. It was kind of a similar scene that she was in, jumping. Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that teaser. Links in the thing. Watch it. Also, we found out Carrie Ann Moss is in the show. We've known this, and she's playing a character called Jeryn Hogarth.
Okay.
Who's normally a guy who's been a guy in the comics always.
Oh, cool.
And a lawyer and executor of the Rand estate. You might know this. Danny Rand is the Iron Fist. So this is another strong tie.
Oh,
to
that's
Iron
awesome.
Fist.
Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit for any bit of Iron Fist. So that's awesome.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Also, they showed a surprise screening of the first episode of Jessica Jones at New York Comic Con.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so...
Have we had any reports of kind of what they felt?
Oh, yes. People are in love.
Oh, that's awesome.
And one of the things is they say there's no exposition, so it just jumps right into it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
So that the reactions, they're praising the show as mature and compelling.
That's what we want. I mean, we got our mature angle with Daredevil, and obviously we had a feeling that this was going to carry through with the other Netflix series. But now we have confirmation that Jessica Jones is going to be just as serious. So I love that.
Yeah, they say it's darker than Daredevil.
Yeah. And you even brought that up, like saying that the villain, Purple Man, who's very diabolical with kind of what he can do. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So people are just in love with it, and I'm just really excited for it. Honestly, I don't want to give anything away. None of these things are spoilery, but I mean, the hype for this is real. We are coming up on almost a month away. And I cannot, I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be your Thanksgiving appetizer.
Yes, probably twice. If I'm going back for seconds, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And lastly, the bit of news is the character Nuke appears in the show.
Okay.
Nuke is essentially he was like a Captain America of the Vietnam War. They tried to make him, but he went a little crazy and tattooed the American flag on his face.
Yeah, I believe he is in he's in one of he's in the Daredevil story where the Kingpin tries to tear down his secret identity. It's not Man Without Fear, is it? It's whatever storyline that is. Yeah, but he basically
he's a Daredevil villain. You're right.
Yeah, he rides into Hell's Kitchen in a helicopter trying to take out Matt Murdock, and it gets crazy. So yeah, he's a maniac. So that'll be cool to see him in the show.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. I'm ready to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Daredevil, the first trailer, concept art poster was unveiled, given away at New York Comic Con.
Oh, it is slick. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah,
it makes his costume look awesome because it's basically it's the armor he gets in the show, but in that comic book style.
Yeah, so this is drawn by Joe Quesada, the CCO of Marvel Comics. He used to work on Daredevil back in the late 90s. And if you see the Punisher behind it, the white is the Punisher logo.
Oh yeah, I would have missed that. I see it. Yeah,
it's very subtle, very very hyper stylized, very red, white, and black. It's Daredevil through and through. I'm jealous of people who got to pick this up.
Yeah, well, I actually think that Punisher tidbit is really really important. You know, obviously Punisher has been confirmed for the show, but we don't really know how much of a role he's going to play in the season. You know, is he going to be in just a couple episodes? Is he going to be highlighted in a short arc? Or is he going to kind of be the main villain thread going through the whole show? And this makes me think that Daredevil and Punisher are going to be going at it for the majority of the series if they're incorporating it into this poster so heavily.
So, funny you should mention that. We have the leaked teaser from New York Comic Con of Daredevil Season 2.
Oh, should I watch it?
We might watch it later. This is really low quality. This is just for those people who want to watch. That means we're going to get a teaser pretty soon.
Okay, then I think I'll wait for the official release because, I mean, I can't even like verbally get it out of my mouth. See, I'm already messed up. Like the show is just so good. Like I want to get more, but I will wait for something beautiful and high quality.
Yes. So the only thing I'd like to point out is that it shows off Karen Page, again, Foggy Nelson, Claire Temple, a.k.a. Night Nurse. But we also get to see Elektra.
Oh, yeah.
And the Punisher. The Punisher makes a big thing at the end of the trailer. So I think he's going to be a big part in it. There is I'm just going to share this. There's a scene where Karen Page is holding up like an X-ray image, but it's got the big skull from the Punisher on it.
Oh, okay.
And he says something about beg. I don't know. I've only watched it once. I want to put it in there for people who want to see it, but I'm waiting for something beautiful as well. However, I think the Punisher is going to be a big part of this, and John Bernthal is going to bring the Punisher to life like we've never seen before.
This is going to be so great. I mean, I haven't heard any bad things about Daredevil. It's just such a good show. I want to see this Netflix quadrilogy just go crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. People are saying Jessica Jones is even better than Daredevil, so that makes me excited for how good Daredevil can be.
Yeah.
In season 2, once it kind of picks up and learns from its mistakes.
Yeah, Marvel, you are killing it, man. You are just dominating.
Yeah. Fun fact: tomato meter on Daredevil is at 98%.
Wow, I've never looked that up before, but that's awesome.
Yeah, so I just want to give that a little bit of fun facts there. So I want to take some time and go on this rumor patrol.
Okay, we got some stuff going off the rails here.
So two things happened over the weekend. First off, Bleeding Cool, the worst news site in the world. I hate fucking Bleeding Cool. Says they talked to some guy at a bar with information.
Okay.
About the Inhumans movie.
Okay.
And they said that the Inhumans movie will essentially be canceled or delayed until it is canceled.
Okay.
I don't believe this for 1 second. Because another person who's insider in the industry came out and said Marvel, is going to push this movie through. Yeah. And the reason I believe this, that we will get an Inhumans movie, is Vin Diesel's pushing Black Bolt like there's no fucking tomorrow. Yeah. Even this weekend he said that Marvel wants him they've used his voice as one character, so they want to use him as a character without a voice for another one. That's Black Bolt, right? Secondly, there are rules on what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can do with Inhumans and who they can show on the TV series, so they can save those for the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't be laying all this groundwork in their TV show if they were just going to cancel Inhumans. And like we've said before, like a lot of these characters are wrapping up their trilogies. They need the Inhumans so bad for Phase 4. They should not be getting rid of them.
Yeah, well, again, they don't have mutants. Inhumans are the perfect foil for mutants because, again, Fox will give up Fantastic Four, no doubt, but the X-Men movies are through the roof. Like, they're only getting better again. So
yeah, exactly. They're in their second stride, and hell, they could even take a little bit of a break, and they could relaunch the X-Men franchise post DC, post Marvel Phase 4, just do something crazy new and fresh. So you never know what they can do. So Fox is definitely going to hold on to that.
Yeah. So exactly. Again, this hit fix. A guy, Drew McQueenie, went to one of the persons at Marvel Studios and asked him. They said, "Yeah, the Inhumans are still happening."
Awesome.
So I believe that. Secondly, is Iron Fist is going to be dropped off the Defenders list.
Okay.
This is kind of new because they say, again, bleeding cool. I don't know if they're just on like a fucking rumor patrol or what this time. But Iron Fist, they said, is going to be dropped from the Defenders.
Was this from the same guy at the same bar, or did they go to a different bar and talk to a different drunk person?
I don't know. I didn't go to Bleeding Cool because I don't want to give them my traffic.
Yeah.
Because they're just stupid. I'm sorry. However, the thing is that I don't believe so because, again, they tweeted. Marvel said something this weekend about 3 of the 4 Defenders were at New York Comic Con because they had Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil. Okay, and would they spend all the time in Daredevil season 1 building up an Iron Fist background and having the Jeryn Hogarth character be a main character in Jessica Jones, not to have Danny Rand or the Iron Fist?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could see maybe possibly changing, since we didn't think that we were going to be getting a second season of Daredevil, we thought we were going to be getting one of each and then Defenders. Maybe they save Iron Fist for this Defender series, and then maybe we get a standalone Iron Fist season afterwards. I mean, I could see that maybe happening, but I want my Iron Fist season. I need it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Iron Fist is... again, a karate show, a very martial arts, very brutal fighting style show with a little bit of mysticism. Fits right into the Doctor Strange, fits right into what they need to do to make the Defenders feel different. Because right now, like, they're not really. I mean, Daredevil is a blind guy who has some super ability a little bit, but he's still a guy. Jessica Jones has some sort of mystical superpowers we don't know about. Luke Cage has indestructible skin. They need the mysticism of Iron Fist. Like Thor is in the Avengers to bring the mystical aspects. They need Iron Fist to level that out. Yeah. And I totally believe this. But the guy says he sourced it in the late night bars of New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
sure.
Yeah, bullshit. So I believe Inhumans and Iron Fist are safe, and we're going to see more of those. I think we're going to get good confirmation over the coming months.
Well, I'm glad we got our opinions down on those rumors because they seem pretty bogus.
Yeah, again, 2 property Inhumans are my favorite. Iron Fist is one of yours. We got to keep them going.
Yeah, we'll keep our ears out though if there's any developments.
So I watched Age of Ultron again this week.
All right, yeah, because you just got that on Blu-ray a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think a week ago last Saturday, and I had some people who had not seen it yet, so they came over and watched it, and they were like, "Oh, this is actually good." I'm like, "Did you expect anything less?" Apparently, Loki was cut from the film due to audience feedback during initial pre-screenings.
Oh man, how would they stuff that movie with any more stuff?
The only thing is, it would be during the scenes where Thor had the scenes.
Oh, the visions and stuff.
Yeah, he was in there. And again, that he has taken over Odin's spot in Asgard is kind of important.
Yeah. Well, did you get a chance to watch those deleted scenes? And did it explain that Thor scene well enough to include it in the movie?
Oh yeah, I think it is something people should watch, whether it's canon or not because it's a deleted scene. I don't know, but it says that it is the Norns who control these waters, and someone has to be sacrificed in the waters to talk to the Norns. And Thor goes in because he's not human. He can't really be sacrificed. He can like get a lot of energy taken out of him, but he can't really die from it like a normal human would.
Okay.
It gave a lot more context to it. But I feel still there's some missing that they didn't give us. But it wasn't horrible. I think it would make much more sense if that was in there.
It still sounds confusing, and it still sounds like a scuff on the movie to me, though.
I don't think it is. Honestly, it's a lot of Asgardian mythology. I mean, you've encountered the Norn in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Mm-hmm. The Norn stones, the lady who's in charge of those. Mm-hmm. It deals with that. Just a side of Asgardian mythology that we've not covered in the other films. Mm-hmm. Will we get more of that maybe in Ragnarok?
Yeah, maybe.
But I mean, you can go either way. I don't think anyone's going to care either way.
All right. Well,
Thor got to see his vision, and that's really what matters.
Yeah, I still gotta get a hand on some of that, so we'll see.
Well, okay then. We'll just jump into the comics. We don't talk a lot about comics on here.
Yeah, we stick to the big screen.
We do. However, I want to make a point of this. Marvel's sent out a postcard with Iron Man fighting Captain America, the Sam Wilson one in the comics. Mm-hmm. And on the back has the number 2 in the Roman numerals from Civil War.
Gotcha. And it looks like I see spring 2016 down there.
Yeah, so we think the next event for Marvel will be Civil War 2.
Yeah, and
they coincides with the movie.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Not only are they coinciding with the movie, but they're also rehashing an old storyline.
Well, I honestly think it's going to be different because this is the all new, all different Marvel post Secret Wars, where the world has been like rebuilt, which just launched this week. I haven't read any of them. I think it's going to be a different kind of story because this is an Iron Man that's different, and it's not the same Captain America. So I think it's going to be a Civil War style. Like, they're going to be split on something governmental. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to be the same exact story. I think they're just going to come up with a better name.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening. You know, there's a lot you can do when you split heroes down the middle, but we'll have to see how that comic series rolls. I mean, I'm not a week by week reader. That's kind of something I'll pick up on a trade when it eventually makes it to my comic book store.
Yeah, I'll probably read maybe Big Event, but I mean, my comic list is dropping significantly after Secret Wars, so we'll have to see where that goes. I don't even know what I want to read. It's the worst. It's the worst first world problem.
No, yeah.
So how about Disney Pixar?
What about Disney Pixar?
We got 4 new movie release dates from Disney Pixar this week as well.
Oh, okay.
All right. Cars 3.
Okay.
June 16th, 2017.
I don't know if we needed that film. I never saw the second one because I just heard such bad things. I didn't want a bad Pixar taste in my mouth.
Yeah, I in the same way. I didn't see Cars 2. Didn't know there was a clamoring for Cars 3, but apparently they did those Planes movies and
I mean, they did a sequel to Monsters Inc., Monsters U, and I wish I never had saw that. That was bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just
as good. I don't like it at all.
You cannot like it. Monsters Inc. is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, Monsters Inc. is great,
but
not the prequel.
Not, if you compare it to that, yes, it's bad, but by itself, it's not horrible.
All right,
a lot like Dumb and Dumber 2 was. By itself, is not horrible, but in comparison, it's 6 feet under.
All right.
What about Toy Story 4? I know you want to see Toy Story 4.
Do I?
I don't know. June 15th, 2018. Again, 2018's filling up. We got a lot of big things.
The only good thing I've heard about Toy Story 4 is that they want to go in a very standalone, separate direction. And I think Pixar can do that with Toy Story. I mean, Toy Story's been very well known for making these little side stories, like little shorts for holidays or Halloween or something like that. And they've always been pretty hilarious, and they've been able to use the characters well. So I'm okay with Toy Story 4 as long as they can do something innovative and different. Because, I mean, they're awesome characters.
Yeah, I think they will. And again, 2018, Disney's going to be raking in cash for the next forever on everything. They could pretty much just shut everything down and just resell the stuff that they've already made, and they'd be fine. Yeah. So another movie they've been making called Coco comes out November 22nd, 2017.
I have not heard of this.
It just got a name. I don't know what it's about. But November isn't a good place to send movies. Mm-hmm. So this might be something like we want to test the waters with it. We're not feeling as strong about it.
Yeah, well, usually in November, the only thing I can ever remember coming out in November is James Bond movies. So maybe it'll have to contest with one of those.
James Bond Thor came out 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
And then Doctor Strange next year. So I think it's movies that they just want to kind of tread the water with.
Okay.
And lastly, The Incredibles 2 has a release date.
Yes.
That was the point we're building up to.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
June 21st, 2019.
You know what I'm hoping that they aged the characters. You know, we got to see them so long ago as kids, and we got to see that, you know, that what happens when these kids find out they have powers or how they want to use them and be heroes. I'd love to see them kind of more in their pre-pubescent state of dealing with what it's like to be a more of an adolescent. So I think that would be cool, and we can see like Jack develop a little bit more. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. Like, they're cuter as kids, but we kind of maybe want to see them with problems. Maybe they'll go that more adult.
Yeah, let's see them all a little bit more badass, because everyone who's big fans of that film have grown up. We're all a little bit older now, so I think that would be cool to age them a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool. So 2019, we got a ways away, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So X-Men Apocalypse gave us our first synopsis this week.
Oh, man.
Along this, I sent you a picture of M&Ms dressed up as mutants. This was tied to that. That's why I was just fucking with you on the M&Ms thing. But there's a mutant M&M promotion.
Oh, okay.
So just whatever.
Good to know.
I'm going to read the first sentence of this synopsis for the film. Because this is what matters. Since the dawn of civilization, he was worshipped as a god. Apocalypse, the first and most powerful mutant from Marvel's X-Men universe, amassed the powers of many other mutants, becoming immortal and invincible. Upon awakening after thousands of years, he is disillusioned with the world as he finds it and recruits a team of powerful mutants, including a disheartened Magneto, to cleanse mankind and create a new world order over which he will reign.
Oh, okay.
So that's the part I wanted to read there.
Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal.
So he does apparently take mutants' powers. Somehow he does that and makes himself immortal and invincible, and has been sleeping for thousands of years. How do you think he wakes up?
I think it's probably going to be something with Days of Future Past fucking with him.
That could be a good one. Or Cerebro. I'm feeling Cerebro.
Yeah, maybe with this technology being made and getting stronger, maybe it's kind of breaking through whatever pyramid he's buried under.
Yeah, so I think, Professor X is probably out recruiting his next class of mutants, and then somehow he finds this mutant asleep, and that's ends up being.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to think that maybe they don't like directly wake him up. Maybe just something with time travel. Maybe something just disturbed everything. I mean, if he's so powerful and he's like such a god, like maybe just tweaking with the time stream that much will just wake him from his slumber.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, the only thing I can think of, this doesn't mention Hugh Jackman, so I think they're taking another break on Wolverine in the movies, kind of like they did in First Class.
Maybe. Maybe Apocalypse just woke up because he heard the Fantastic Four movie was so bad, and he's just like, I gotta cleanse the earth.
Yeah, he's like, I've heard what you've done. I need to fix this.
Yeah, you no longer deserve it.
They made me think of the X-Men movies kind of like Star Wars coming forward. Like, they have their main series, but then standalones on the side.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like, we have our main, story, again, First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, but they also get, Deadpool and Gambit on the side as well. Kind of like Star Wars has their Rogue One shots.
I feel like whenever we say Gambit, there should be an asterisk next to its name, because I'm still not totally confident that we're getting that movie.
I think we're going to get it. Just like we got Ant-Man, I think we're going to get it, but it's not going to be something amazing and great and beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, well. And we don't have any Star Wars news, so I tried to try Star Wars in there somewhere.
Yeah, okay, good.
Did you like Mad Max?
Mad Max was amazing.
Okay, well, apparently 2 sequels have been penned by George Miller. I think they're more like treatments rather than scripts, but he has the sequels ready for those, to be written in the scripts.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's had those ideas in the back of his head for years now, since he's been with Mad Max for so long. So I'm looking forward to that. I love that he can just make an action movie just on just a bare glimpse, sketching of a story, and just entertain us all. So that's awesome.
Do you want to see 2 more sequels to Mad Max?
Hell yeah.
All right.
You know what I don't want
to hear.
You know what I don't want to see more sequels of?
What's that?
I think it's the next thing you're about to bring up.
Terminator.
Yeah, no more of those.
Okay, fine. But good news then, franchise is on the shelf after Genesis while they retool it.
Oh, good. I keep hearing that James Cameron is supposed to be getting the rights to the franchise back.
He does get it back, I think, in a few years, regardless of what happens.
Okay, yeah.
They can't just make a movie and keep it away from him.
Yeah, you know what? This is what we should do. We should just get not a film reboot, but let's get like a television reboot. You know, TV's so big right now, and I feel like rebooting it in the television space doesn't seem so much like, oh, we fucked up so many times. We can't just keep doing more movies.
Well,
I think
agree
it could
with
fit
you
on TV.
I would agree with you if the Terminator TV show hadn't already been on TV and
Yeah,
been canceled.
That was so long ago, though. I think it'll be okay.
It was 2008.
That's long enough. I've slept since then.
Yeah, well, I don't think a lot of people have.
Well, I think our listeners can let us know if where they want to see more Terminator or if they want to see more Terminator.
Yeah, so 2019 is when it goes back to James Cameron, by the way.
Okay,
Just
gotcha.
give you a heads up. Do you like Lord of the Rings? Are you a big fan?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to I'm getting ready to rewatch the extended trilogy soon, so I'm hyped.
That's gonna be intense.
Yeah, it's gonna be long. I'm needing lots of snacks.
Okay, well, I actually talked about rewatching them today, so I feel you. Nicolas Cage apparently turned down the Aragorn role back when.
Yeah, I think I heard that through some sort of grapevine. I think that's hilarious.
Can you imagine the kind of movie it would have been?
Oh man, can you just imagine any movie where Nick Cage is injected into a role? That guy is just like
late '90s Nick Cage. I could have maybe more so than right now's Nick Cage.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I still got to see that documentary that they made about him and that unmade Superman movie.
The Death of Superman Lives.
Yeah, I got to see that. I got to get around to watching it because I hear it's just captivating. So,
yeah.
Nick Cage in anything just makes it more bizarre.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been as successful. I don't think so. So, how about Pacific Rim 2? That's your thing. You like Pacific Rim 2.
Only if you're giving me good news. If you're not giving me good news, I think we should just move along.
How about the budget's ready?
Okay.
They're waiting on a script from John Spates.
Awesome.
Before the studio greenlights it.
Oh, man, that's good. I'm glad it's not dead. I need this good news. I don't want to live in a world where we don't get more Pacific Rim.
Yep. So it sounds like they are just once they get that script in and they get a green light, you're gonna hear more of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
It better because Del Toro needs to just get a fucking movie out. Like he just needs to stop dicking around. I feel he dicks around a lot.
Yeah, I think he has a good time though. I don't think he really cares.
Yeah, he just almost does a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
he's a cock tease for films.
Yeah, if there was an almost Oscar award, I'm sure he would have one.
You almost made the Hobbit films. Almost.
Yeah, so close.
Power Rangers. Are you excited for Power Rangers?
I don't know. What do you have to tell me about Power Rangers?
Apparently, someone named Naomi Scott, I don't know who she is, was cast as the Pink Ranger.
Okay.
I don't either. I mean, she doesn't look like the old Pink Ranger.
Yeah, I think a Transformers film is just not Transform. I guess Transformers makes me think of Power Rangers. Yeah, I just feel like it's literally just what Transformers does. It's a cash grab for nostalgia. You know, the kids that grew up like hardcore Power Rangers fans are roughly around our age now. The people that'll go see, you know, this PG-13 more than likely movie with tons of product placement, probably lots of Mountain Dew. All over this film. I don't know. I mean, the Power Rangers were a fond memory, but it's not like it was like an amazing show.
So, well, I mean, I feel the same way about Transformers, and the first movie was pretty good. I will give it that. Do you think the first Power Rangers movie, not considering the old Power Rangers movie, would be just as well? Like,
you know what? This is not something I think I would rush to see in the theater. Even if the trailer was like stellar and just blew me out of my shorts, I don't think I would be rushing to see this one.
Okay, well, just to give you a heads up, the Naomi Scott was born in 1993 when Power Rangers first aired. So I don't think she's probably seen a lot of it. But
she's got a back catalog to go through if she wants to connect to her role. That's for sure.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know if it's a reboot. I've heard this takes place like after the current season of Power Rangers, and like is like
yeah, because I'm sure so many people out there are caught up with the current season of Power Rangers.
Yeah, I have no idea what it's gonna do. I don't know. I'm not thrilled, but I kind of want to put that in there. Just saying that they're actually moving forward with it. That's the thing I didn't think they would get there.
Yeah, I think that's the news right there.
Yeah. So well. So you've been watching some TV shows?
Oh man, love me some TV shows.
So I've been watching a lot. Walking Dead starts tonight. I think it's already over where I am. So Walking Dead, just a kind of PSA for you guys. Walking Dead starts. What? Are you watching it?
I said I'm looking forward to the Ricktatorship starting back up. I just finished watching Fear the Walking Dead last week. Awesome show. I mean that standalone series was amazing. We're gonna get more. It worked out really, really well. I'd love to see more successful TV shows do some more of these compendium series or companion series. So that was great.
Okay, so Fear the Walking Dead has Mike's blessing. Are you caught up on this Walking Dead? Are you gonna watch it?
Yes, I will be watching it probably as soon as I'm done recording this show.
Cool. So did you watch The Flash season 2? We that came out this week.
Yes, I watched the premiere. I did. What did you think about it?
I felt like that should have been the last episode of last season.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way a little bit too. It was on par with a good Flash episode, but I feel like we left on such a cliffhanger, and I was expecting the episode to start right up where we left off, but there was kind of a little bit of a forward and going back and jumping around a little bit. But yeah, I totally feel you. That kind of maybe should have been like an hour and a half season finale.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe the first half of this episode should have been tagged on the last, because we find out how the black hole was closed, and who's still here, who's not here, kind of thing, and goes from there. But I think it's gonna set season 2 it's gonna be in a different place.
Yeah,
a lot of things have changed, and a lot of people aren't gonna come back for a while.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it sets up season 2 well, but I was just kind of hoping for like a bigger conclusion, a wrap up to season 1. But it's still a great show, so I'm still gonna watching it. Nothing's stopping that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I just don't think it's the best first episode out there. Again, this is where I'm going to talk about the movie. You could that black hole apparently opened up to a world where people exist. Other dimensions, essentially, because in this one we get the Atom Smasher.
Yeah.
So what if the cinematic universe is another universe that this Flash can see into eventually. Just to show it exists as parallels rather than, that they exist kind of together but not together.
Yeah, I would love to see maybe that coming. It wouldn't be the end of the world. It wouldn't make me cry if the TV series never connects to the movies. But I think it's fun to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna have to get the common people to find out there's a difference between the movie version and the TV version sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, so Flash movie, why'd I watch that? Let's go watch it on the CW. Well, it's different. Arrow season 4 launched.
Yes, it did.
Did you watch it?
No, it was caught up in my travel to Manhattan, so I haven't had a chance to check out Arrow. But I will definitely report back with my initial impressions next week, and I think you'll finally be all caught up, and we'll probably give a rundown, maybe mid-season finale for Arrow.
Yeah, I'm still in season 2. Season 3 just came on Netflix. I started the new job last week. I'm still getting used to actually going into an office and kind of getting used to that. So I haven't watched as much Arrow as I wanted to, so I didn't watch this. If you guys saw Arrow season 4, give us a spoiler-free impression.
Yeah, let us know what you think, and we'll bring it up on the show next week.
Yeah, definitely. But other than that, it's just standard fare. Heroes Reborn. I'm not gonna recommend that to anybody. It's not. I mean, it's too there are some storylines that are still good, but some just cringeworthy in that. So if you're wanting to know about Heroes Reborn, stay away from it. Blacklist is even better, I believe, and Shield also still good. I haven't had any complaints with that. So
Yeah, I mean it's good. The superhero TV is still strong.
Yeah, I yelled at my TV for the first time with Shield ever. And good yelling, like telling me to give me something good. Damn it! So it was good. It was exciting.
Awesome.
And a little something about steaming my broccoli. I got a little broccoli steam. This
week.
Man,
this is a classic segment coming back from. Yeah. This has been a long time.
Yeah, it has been. Nothing has really made me mad. So Howard the Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is always like, well, now that Marvel put him in the end credits, they got to do a Howard the Duck movie in 2020, right?
God, no.
And I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Like, you got to be a special kind of stupid to think Marvel's going to push forward with a Howard the Duck movie.
Yeah.
Like, they are all about money and reporting to Disney, right? And making more movies, and the quickest way to end your universe, cinematic universe, is to make Howard the Duck a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a ploy you bring up to close off Phase 6, maybe when there's so much superhero fatigue no one goes to the film anymore, and you just bring in Howard the Duck to throw a stick into the spokes. But yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, people. We're gonna get a Howard the Duck movie. I'm like, that's just like, first off, nobody likes Howard the Duck. Let's be honest here. Name one person who buys Howard the Duck comics frequently. Do you know anybody?
I don't know, but I have a feeling if they are, they're probably also buying Archie regularly.
Yeah, probably buying Archie. Probably buying like things no one's ever heard of because they're hipster as shit. And this is just a stupid request. And then let's just think about the last time Howard the Duck had a movie. That set superhero movies back to the Stone Age in a single swoop. Yeah. All the work Superman had done in the 70s and 80s was killed instantly.
Dismantled.
When Howard the Duck landed. And we didn't. It took to the 2000s to get another good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, just stop with Howard the Duck, you assholes.
Knock it off. Stop trying to get them blog clicks.
Yeah, it's not working. You're not cool. You're not funny. No one agrees with you, really. This is like people who want Howard the Duck movie are probably the same people who think getting Trump as a president would be a good idea.
Oh yeah, I guess that Venn diagram does overlap pretty well there.
That's probably a perfect circle, but that's for another day. My broccoli has been steamed and now it has been released.
Yeah, so. Well, I think that's a great way to wrap up this insanely packed show that we had.
It's so dense, so dense. So if people want to follow you and your adventure to New York and see that pizza you ate, where can they find that at?
They can check me out at Mike Royer Design on Instagram or on Twitter. And as always, you can read my webcomics at pickledcomics.com. But if you want to hear Chris and you want to hear what steams his broccoli a little bit more, maybe where could they find that?
Yeah, you can go to Twitter. You can find me at Valdan, Valdan. I had a big rant about Steak and Shake today. Told them to go fuck themselves. That's another story. I was in a bad mood. I was hungry. I was hangry.
Yeah.
Or go to comicui.com and follow us there. We're on that. Comic UI is in the Apple News app. However, it is pulling the images from Superhero Slate because I posted a comment or a post about Superhero Slate on there once, so it's quite the cross promotion on accident. So once Apple gets that worked out, you can find us on Apple News app.
Yeah. Just go find us and put some cheese on our broccoli is what we want.
What kind of cheese?
You know what? The best way to let us know what cheese should be on our broccoli is going to superheroslate.com. That is where you can find the links to every place that we are at. We are on iTunes. We're on YouTube. Awesome place to get the show because apparently sometimes we have problems with our RSS feed.
Oh, yeah. SoundCloud decided to be a dick this week. And that's our next. You can find us on SoundCloud always, but they changed their media links, but I got it fixed in like an hour. It was the busiest hour I've ever had, but I got it.
Yeah, so YouTube is always a great backup, and Chris, you do a good job adding images to our audio, which is always great. You can catch us on Tumblr. You can email us your thoughts. That's where you're going to let us know where the cheese goes. And we're on Facebook too. We're on Twitter. Those are great ways to keep up with us. That's the first place you're going to find out if we're having messes with our stream. So yeah, just go on superheroslate.com. That's where you can connect with us. If you're a fan of the show, go to iTunes and leave us a review. That helps us get seen by other fans. And if you're a super fan of the show, share the show with a friend. That's what makes you a super fan. So that is the call to arms. That is your marching orders.
Whoa, that's quite the heavy order there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of interested in what kind of cheese people put on the broccoli now. Like, do you put nacho cheese? I'm a cheddar guy.
Nothing spicy. You don't go spicy with broccoli. I think you stick with like a mild to sharp cheddar.
Yeah, I mean, we know we've had conversations about cheeses for days.
That's a different podcast. That's the grocery store podcast that we're going to be launching.
God, that's such a good idea. You said there's none, right?
Yeah, there's none. You can search it. There's none out there. So that's TBD.
That's awesome. So, all right, well, I guess that's it for the week. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with more.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe.